Welcome back. The Federation of State Beef Councils has a long history of building beef demand through an effective state and national checkoff partnership. We're pleased to have with us today Don Caldwell, who was recently elected as vice chair of the Federation for NCBA. Don, you're no newcomer to the show, but why don't we begin by telling folks a little bit about yourself and your involvement in the beef cattle industry.
Sure, thanks Kevin. So our family has a cow-calf operation. I grew up on a cow-calf operation. I come from South Central Nebraska, North Central Kansas region, and our family loves that. And now I'm serving my 7th year with Nebraska Beef Council. I have served nationally then on the evaluation committee, on the taste committee, on the innovation committee. So it's really fun to be engaged and get to know producers from all over the country.
Tell folks a little bit about what the Federation really is.
So the Federation is a group of all of the members of the qualified state beef councils around the United States. And we now have, I believe, 44 of them. That number bounces around just a little bit year to year. But there are approximately 700 members of beef councils around the United States. And for those beef councils that perhaps have more cattle than people in their state, like Nebraska, for instance, and other states that are populated accordingly, we send a lot of money into the Federation because we realize the importance of helping with projects that are impactful where the people are in the United States, where the population base is, rather than trying to sell beef to our fellow Nebraskans so much. So the Federation is made up of members of all those beef councils. They can send investments according to their beef council income, if you will, and be able to have a seat. So we have about 100 members on the National Federation Board, and each of those has a wonderful ability to have a say-so in the direction of our checkoff dollars.
You talk about having a say-so in the direction of the checkoff dollars. I know you've served on the Beef Promotion Operating Committee, and maybe you can give our viewers just a little perspective on how programs are selected and funded. What would you want them to know about that process?
First of all, I would say the amount of discretion is unbelievable. It's really, and especially in years like we are going through right now, a painful process. So we will have authorization requests come to us, and each year, each year the Cattlemen's Beef Board will put out a call for authorization requests. And when they put that out, potential contractors, and there are many potential contractors in the United States, any organization which is nonprofit, is a national organization, is very eligible to put forth a contract for us to consider. Now it makes it difficult for them that they can only receive those funds from us on a cost recovery basis. So they have to put the money out there to do the project that we wish to have done, and then we'll reimburse them afterwards. So that does limit groups that are able to do it effectively. But we look through those contracts that are put forward to us, or authorization requests, and we decide exactly how the dollars can be most effective. So it doesn't matter if a producer sells 10 head per year and contributes $10 to the checkoff, or if they have thousands of head of cattle and they're contributing thousands and thousands of dollars per year. We want those dollars to be equally effective for every producer that's contributing to the program. We hear how effective those contracts could potentially be, and we have the long-range plan to go off of. So if it's a contract that doesn't necessarily match what the industry has set forth as a long-range plan, that's one that's maybe easier to set aside. Others that we get really excited about, that fit the long-range plan protocol, and we know could be a really great return on investment for those dollars, they're probably going to get awarded the contract.
Sure. So Don, I guess one last question. What's your message to fellow beef producers about the checkoff, especially those that may not agree or even see value in the checkoff?
I know that can be a frustration for some people, but think about the return they're getting on things such as our export market at $300 per head, effective consumer reports such as, or consumer events information, the BOLD diet, beef in an optimal lean diet, the success we had with the IARC messaging, that beef does not cause cancer, and new cuts of beef, going back to the flat iron steak, for instance, and we have other new ones coming out all the time. So there are a lot of successes to really consider, and that every $5 to $10 to $300 per animal really adds up for them.
It absolutely does, and thank you and all your fellow producers who serve on that committee and make those judicious decisions about how to use those funds. We appreciate that.
It's our honor.
To learn more about the Federation of State Beef Councils, head to beefusa.org and click on the Federation tab.